Hey Tori, it's Paul here. Just easy if I send this little video podcast here. So the key thing that I wanted to get your input in is on the overview video. We have three categories: central, south, and beach and boat. And as you know, beach and boat. I mean, like when we go to, we don't want to be redundant because obviously if we have south tours of South Miami, we show Miami and Key West, and then we go into beach and boat, they're the same thing. So what I thought was is in these in pre-overviews we'll profile kind of like not very much beach and boats, and we'll, like, Miami will show the city and Key West will show the city, and then we'll save that kind of the good beach and boat sizzle stuff for that section of it. And also I thought that when the overview video plays and it's got these three categories, there should be a title, which I believe should be a map showing you South Florida, because if people haven't been there before, they're not kind of familiar, and that's kind of, as me and you both know, you get you outside of Orlando, so then people go, wow, look, I can go all the way down to the tip of Florida down to what, Key West down there. Yeah, that sounds like an adventure. So I see having a map as a title for each one of these, well, at least central and south, obviously, and beach and boat is. So that's the kind of the dilemma we're having. That the videos for this section here is well, it's the same subject. So how do we present it? But we'll give it a whirl. Now, when the video ends at the end of this 90-second thing, and we've covered these three categories, we then have to segue them down to the tour videos. And there's two ways to do it. You can look at the Sunrider one, which is basically it ends, and it ends on the last. They only have three videos, so then you click off and see the individual tour video. Now, obviously, that's not going to work for you because you've got too many tours. And then this is what we did for the snowmobile company. And what happens is when the video is playing, in this case, if you notice, is that they have a hotspot. They have a hotspot in the video. So you can click on that right now. If you're interested in that tour, you can basically click on it and it'll take you off to that Knight Rider individual video. So, but I'll get to that in a second. So what happens is when this overview video ends, we've broken their 7 snowmobiles towns and threw them all in one menu. So I'm thinking, at the end of Central Florida, it would say Central Florida, and there'd be a button for each one of the different Central Florida tours on it. But that gets back to the fact that in reality, then we really need to have a sub overview. So once you watch this, the three buttons on the end of it would be, okay, you're interested in Central, South, or Beach? And the guy says, wow, I want to see Beach because it looked really interesting. So then you click on that, and there'd be an overview saying, hey, we can get you on the beach Miami or Key West or out to Cocoa Beach or whatever. And then it would end, and it would have a menu similar to this, all the individual videos for that one category. So to me, there's no way around it, is that it kind of makes sense. And this overview would be short. It would be like 30 seconds or something. And then from there, they'd get to the tour video. And I got your feedback today. I showed you this. I call it a video call to action. So it's a call to action. It's in video. And you basically said, oh, I just wanted to basically...
Due to the popularity of this tour on TripAdvisor, this
I just want to have the book it button because that's what I want them to do, and that's a given. But the point is that let's say 5% of the people who watch the video go book it because they're not ready to make that decision, they don't know enough about you, whatever. So what we're trying to do at the end of the video is to say, hey, give us an email or a call or a text. And you say, well, how do I deal with text messages coming to my landline? Well, this company does it for you. I think they charge like $10 or $15 a month. Text enable your existing landline. So it's basically a web page, and you deal with them like emails. But with people on a mobile phone, especially with your website where you got so many tours and everything, we just want to get them a little bit excited and then get them to call you, because 70% of people who do a search on a mobile phone want to make a phone call, end up making a phone call. And so knowing that, this is moving on to the next thing here, is that we've set up this code. We've developed an ITS video player, and it's got a bunch of whistles and bells. And you put your video in this video player and does a variety of things. One of the things it does is it detects if the person's on a mobile device. And if it does, we play a different video than the desktop version, because the desktop version, look at that, my mom's calling me. Isn't that cute? So basically, what it does is it checks if the guy's on a mobile, and if he's on a mobile, it doesn't play the desktop version. That's 2 minutes. That's longer because people on a desktop, have more time. It's a 60-second clip, and at the end of it, it says, "Hey, click the call." And yes, we do have a dashboard which allows you to turn on and off. Well, you just tell us from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and you put in those hours of operations and open, and it basically, when you're closed, it plays still a 60-second clip for a mobile customer, but there's no click to call feature in it. And we're able to track all these interactions. And so what I would say is, let's set one up and basically track it for 30 days and see how it works. And this call to action at the end couldn't need more refining. But the moral of the story is very few people are going to book online right away. And all those other, 95% of them that don't book, we want them to motivate them, to engage them, to make action. And just I didn't put this in here. We haven't shot any of your tours with the flying helicopter yet, but I'm going to put Jose's little demo reel here that shows you our footage. And the other thing, yeah. So we'll shoot some of your footage with the flying helicopter at some point. We're just a little busy right now, and the weather's good for you all year round. So we're just trying to get up to New York and a few other places. And I've got actually Greyline. We're meeting Greyline New York and next week in New York, and Greyline London got a hold of me now. So I was hoping that if I might have to use it for a testimonial. Now, obviously, these guys are paying a lot more because they got more tours, and obviously the program's grown, and so I don't know quite how we deal with that. Maybe, I don't, well, yeah, I can say you're grandfathered in, or maybe you can say you're paying me in tickets, and I don't really get the tickets, or I don't use them, or so to speak, but their products are obviously a lot more sophisticated and more expensive operating in little cities when, you're 3 hours from our office is a lot easier. But anyway, review that over. And the key things we got to get back to us is we're moving ahead on these categories, and that's how we're dealing with the duplication of the video being in both categories. We're not going to see the same footage. Do you agree with the sub-overview strategy? And that's fine. We'll go ahead and put that content together. And then the call to action on the end, does it make sense to try the click to call and click to text features and test it out for 30 days. I've got a little bit of programming to do on that, but we might as well have the discussion and then figure it out while Juan's getting all these videos together. And I'm going to email you, or I have given you Juan's email, and you can just deal directly with him rather than him coming to me and I give you the video and so forth. And that way you can call him if you want, but generally they like to work in email, so it's all written down. Okay, thanks a lot, Tori. Bye.